hopefully we'll get a little more turnout than last time.
Yeah, last time we had a few people come in while we were talking, so I think we can start it out, and once we get going, it's streaming on Facebook. They have the link, so they can join in. I'll make sure to put that link in the stream. Copy here. Jim, I think you're the only one that wasn't here at the last meeting. You want to give us a little background and let us know about your time at Kemper and
Yeah, well, I'm probably the oldest old boy.
Really?
I got there in 1943.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
And stayed there 4 years.
Wow.
From Texas, I told him I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and but I went to Kemper, and then after I graduated from junior college, in 1947, we had 7 graduates.
Oh wow!
Because they were all
all
gone to the Army.
Yeah.
And then I went to the University of Missouri.
Where do you live now, Jim?
Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, you're in Fort Worth. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in Houston.
Oh gosh, all Texans.
Yeah.
There's some guy sideways over here.
Yeah, the sideways guy. I don't.
He's from Kansas.
He's from Kansas. No wonder. So anyway, well, I lived in Columbia, so I spent a lot of Columbia and Kansas City. So I spent, Wright's got it. There he got Wright's. No, there he goes.
There he is.
Hey.
I got Wright's. Lived in Columbia and Kansas City, and then finally moved back to Texas. So I went to Kemper a lot.
Yeah.
Going. We were close by, and then.
So did you go 2 years to the high school and 2 years to junior college?
Yes.
Okay. And you're originally from Texas?
Yes, sir.
All right.
How did you find out about the Old Boy Network here?
Oh, I'm on Facebook all the time, and I found out through the Kemper alumni, whatever. There's a Facebook page called Kemper Military School.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you end up at Kemper from Texas?
Well, I was 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do the math now. But my mother was sick, and my poor father didn't know how to take care of a 14-year-old.
I got you.
And my brother-in-law, who wasn't my brother-in-law at the time, he went to Kemper in 1916, lived in A barracks, and he probably talked to my father.
Okay.
Never did know, but we went up there. I mean, he showed me the pictures. Everything looked so great, and it was great. Best 4 years ever. And
back in the 40s? Was it still very much cadet led? The day-to-day operations.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. That was one of the cool things that I enjoyed about it, and that was in the 90s.
Well, and I ended up being a captain in Company D.
Okay.
We didn't call them. All we just said was ABCD.
ABCD.
And ABCDH.
How big was the Corps?
550.
550. That's
Yeah,
a good sign. That's a good sign.
Except that we'd wake up in the morning and one guy'd be gone. The Army had sucked him out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure even those high school guys, those guys turning 18 were headed straight out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So did you have quite a few classmates that ended up in World War II?
Well, particularly when I got up there in 43 and 44, they were taking a lot of them. And of course, I was a new boy.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the place much that first year.
That's the hard year.
It was a whole year. So I heard that later on they just made you a new boy for maybe half a year or some.
Yeah, it was the first semester. Yeah.
First semester. Jeez. We did it for 1 year.
Whole year.
Yeah, but you couldn't sign the Standard of Honor till after a year.
Yeah.
No, that's true. And I tried to buy mine at auction,
Mm-hmm.
and it got all screwed up. The auctioneer, I don't know what he did to me, but I was bidding on it. But I did get a picture of it in the assembly hall, and I got a close-up of my signature, so
That's good.
I'm genuine.
Yeah.
Do we have a record of where all those Standard of Honor certificates went and who they were sold to?
The best I can tell, I talked to Laura Gramlich in Boonville.
Mhm.
She's an officer. She lives in Boonville and went to school there. And she's an officer in the Alumni Association. I don't know what, vice president or something. And the best I can tell, they have it in storage in Boonville. And there was a man over in Columbia who ran the radio station, KFRU, and he bought he brought the library, got all the books, and the Friends, did you ever hear the Friends of Kemper?
No, I
Yes.
don't think
I've heard of them.
I heard of them. I right around when Kemper was going to shut down. I think they were trying to save the school, and they got together and did quite a bit.
Well, they had a lot of problems. The guy committed suicide.
Oh wow.
I don't know, and I don't know what they did with what they bought at the auction. Never could really tell who all were in the Friends of Kemper.
Well, probably very loosely organized. Yeah. I wondered. I worked in the library, and I remember, in the rare book room, there was first editions of Mark Twain. Really unique books. And
I'm drinking my water. Excuse me.
I wondered if those got auctioned. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. So we're I guess we're going to do a show and tell edition today. Has everybody got something to show?
The only thing I got scrapbooks upstairs that are so dog-eared, but I do have my.
Oh, look at that. Nice and
Oh,
shiny.
look at that. Yeah. I still got mine. I need to find it.
And it's heavy as can be, too.
Probably pure brass back then.
Yes. It was made by, I looked on the back, it's made by M.S. Myers in New York City.
New York City.
And I gave my uniform to the admissions guy years ago, which was a mistake. And then when Kemper was 100 years old, I had the Boonville Daily News 100-year edition in 1944, and I was living in, I don't know where else. I had it, so it had to be later in 1944 because I had the newspaper. It was probably when I was living in Columbia, and I went through Columbia, and I thought, hell, I'm going to be nice to him, and I gave Horace Smith. I don't know if you ever heard his name.
Yeah, he was still there when we were there.
Oh, Horace, yeah.
Yeah, Horace, yeah.
And so I left him the newspaper. I thought, man, they could use that. Well, that was a mistake. Because I don't have it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I guess I'm through talking unless you all got questions.
Well, speaking of newspaper, I got a clipping of that I wanted to share. This is a photo that came out in the Boonville newspaper when my first year first year we played Air Force Prep there in Boonville, and that's me, number 64, going for the downfield block, and number 21 there is Bump Middleton, who's our running back, and so we kept that. I found this in one of my mom's encyclopedias. Yeah, that was there. That was there at the stadium at Kemper.
My roommate was on the high school football team, and he got creamed in every play. I mean, every game he'd get knocked out.
Yeah. My sophomore year, we traveled to Colorado to play Air Force Prep, and that was a nice trip. We spent some time there in Colorado Springs at Fort Carson, so that was pretty cool.
The furthest we ever went was because the World War II was going on, was over to Lexington.
Yeah.
In school buses.
Yeah, thankfully we chartered a coach. It was a pretty nice trip. Right, straight across Kansas into Colorado and up into Colorado Springs. Yeah. Anybody else? What do you got, Heath? I know you got something.
Man, I'm trying to get it sent over to my computer.
Oh, okay.
Hang on just a second here.
Looks like we got Tracy Green come in. How's it going, Tracy?
Good. Hey, I just joined late.
No worry. No problem.
So I don't have anything to show yet for show and tell. I was class of 76. I was there 74 to 76, and then I taught there from 85 to 89.
Oh, wow. Were you there with Jim Dowling?
I was.
You were? Okay.
Yeah. So I taught in the ROTC department from 85 to 89.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Were you in the military?
I was. I retired in 96.
Were you in the military department?
I was.
Okay. Would you believe that in the late 80s, I met a guy down at Cedar Creek Lake in Texas, where we lived for a while, and I started questioning him. We were watching the Super Bowl, and I said, how'd you get down here? He says, well, I was in the Army, and I've been everywhere. I says, well, I went to school in Boonville, Missouri, and he says, would you believe I was a sergeant?
What up, Dave?
Huh? At the same time. And his name was George Fleming. And so we became great friends. And one of his Army buddies lived in Fort Worth. And he was a warrant officer in the military department. And his name was Obie Leonard. Something like Obie. We called him Obie. So we became great friends till they passed away. Can you imagine going back and I got the class pictures out, that they take, class, and there I was standing right behind them.
Small world sometimes. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you, Big Dave.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, man. It's really good to see you guys, man. Is that Big Pat back there? Is that Pat with us? Is that Pat Heath with us?
Yeah, it's Heat Devils, and we got
Heath, that is.
Yeah.
How's Heath doing, man?
What's going on? Is that Clayton?
Yeah, this Clayton, man.
Yeah,
What's going on, man? How are you?
Man, long time no see.
Yes, sir. Yes, man, it's nice. Was you not at the reunion last year? I guess I didn't see you last year.
No, I didn't go to the reunion. No,
Okay.
I don't think I've been to one yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to see any of you.
I don't blame you. I really don't. I don't blame you a bit. Man.
Coach, where are you at right now?
I'm in Columbia, Missouri. I'm working here in Columbia, Missouri. I've been living here probably about 30 years now. And I have 2 kids and 2 grandkids and a wife. And, she's an RN. And I've been working in quality control ever since I left Kemper.
So you're not coaching.
No more coaching. I was in coaching for a little while. I was coaching my son and for a while. Hey, how you doing? I saw you last summer. Christy.
Oh, hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing good. Doing great.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're on the call.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
yes.
Chris, you're from over east of Fort Worth, aren't you?
Myself?
Don't you live over in Texas?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over in Forney. I'm like I'm
I said.
east of
Over
Dallas.
East. That's what I said. East of
Yeah,
Fort Worth.
east of Fort Worth.
Yeah,
So we're not very far.
I know it.
I don't know if everyone saw that Huckabo, he passed away here just recently. That was kind of wild. He was pretty young.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Coach Huckabo. Where was he? Where was he? Was he still in the Columbia area? Do you know Coach Clayton?
Who are you talking to?
I was talking to Coach Clayton to see if he knew where Coach Huckabo
I did know him. But I didn't know that he had passed.
Yeah, he just recently passed. Yeah.
Wow.
He was probably, when we were there in the 90s, he was probably in his early 30s, maybe late 20s. I think he passed away fairly young.
Wow. That's sad, yeah. So have you heard from David, any of those guys?
Who's that? David Bright?
David Bright, yes.
I sent him a message, letting him know that we're going to be doing it. I saw him at the reunion. He was at the reunion this last year. He's doing well.
Yes,
in Florida.
very well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to see? Did you get a chance to see Isaac Anderson?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he was there, but he wasn't I guess he was not at the reunion, but he had came in early and then left like the day before.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I have one picture that I'd like to show and tell you a story about.
Okay.
So at Kemper, a lot of us we were either on the football team or in the ROTC program or both. I think I was in both. And they had a group there. It was like a little fraternity. It was Scabbard and Blade. Did they have that, Jim and Tracy back when y'all were there?
No.
Oh yeah. Well, and they were kind of snobbish on who they picked. I of course wasn't picked. My roommate was picked, and it was kind of a sore contention with a lot of us. And so the second year I was there, hey David, you got to let me be able to share my screen. So
it's available. Can you do it there? Can you do it now?
let me see here. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, let's see here. I want to do this. Okay. And I want to show.
So for those of you who don't know, Scabbard and Blade was kind of like a secret society kind of thing. You know, they did these ritualistic membership. You know, when they were recruiting their new recruits, they did these really. It was pretty cool to see it. Actually, they did this thing through the barracks where they would stomp and drag their taps, and they would do it in unison, and you know the echo of the building, and it was actually a pretty cool thing. Anyway, so the rush period, I guess, was, you know, they were pretty tough on those people that were bringing in. It was quite difficult amount, or quite a good amount of hazing involved. But it did become this point of contention among the people that didn't get in and the people that were in, and so it's interesting.
Well, so what David Flores and I did is we started our own group. This was,
Oh my God.
and what we
Is that Adam Pavlovich? Is it Pavlovich or?
Yes, it's Pavlovich.
Oh my God.
we called ourselves the Pied Pipers, and we would host evening studies, you know, and we tried to be just as intellectual as the Scabbard and Blade folks were, you know, physically. So we tried to better ourselves.
You got to send me that picture, dude. That's an awesome picture.
Hey, yeah, I think I don't the guy on the far right, Rene Flores. That was David's. They were roommates. Rene passed away back in '92. I don't know what happened to Adam, and I don't remember what happened to.
That's Rogers.
Rogers, yeah. He was on the football, and then this was the other guy was a twin. He was one of the Hibner twins.
Yeah, Dave Hibner. Dave Hibner is actually a colonel, brigade commander. I believe he's a brigade commander in the Army right now.
What year was that?
93. No, 92. This was no.
Yeah, this was 90. This was 91, I think. 91 or 92.
Yeah. And actually, I found this out in this last reunion. Out of this class of cadets, we have 3 brigade commanders, all colonels that are currently serving in the Army. So that's pretty phenomenal. I mean, that's like got to be top 1% of the Army brass up there.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
So that was my show and tell.
You have to send me that picture. That's a good one.
We had a couple others. There was a guy named Nick.
Yeah, Nick Corey.
And another guy. I can't remember his name. He had black hair, short. I can't remember his name.
Was he tall?
No, he's real short. I can't remember. A long time ago.
Cornelius?
No. I think he was from Louisiana. I just remember that. So,
It wasn't Brian
Go ahead.
Farrow, was it?
no. So what's anybody else got anything? Christy?
Oh, well, I'm getting messages from people trying to get the link,
Oh,
trying to send it to them.
I put it on the Facebook Live. If there's a
I-
link on.
I told him to hold on, let me message him back.
I must have
what
break-
about
Well,
about
the only thing I have are some yearbooks. So this was 1992. I don't know if you can see this.
oh yeah.
Is that,
Oh, there's me.
yeah, I got me one. So then I've got, hold on real quick. Let me see here. Oh, right here.
Oh, flowers.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I've got, who
I have
else?
that yearbook.
Oh,
There's
Oh.
Darren.
Oh, Chewy.
and then who do you guys want to see? Anybody?
Let's see old Clayton. Doug Clayton. Look for him.
Hey, so you're gonna
He
look
was-
for me at 85 and 87. I was a day student in 80 from 85 to 87. That's where
Okay.
I would be at. And then
Yeah, and
I post
I just have 92 and I have 91. Let's see.
90.
you'd probably find me in some of the athletic things, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah, and weren't you a resident
Attack officer.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
My dad was a TAC officer a couple
Oh, really?
times. Yeah. In the 70s and then when the school closed.
What's his name?
Terry Rohr.
Terry, do you know him?
I do not.
You don't? Okay.
Hey, so in the 90s, was anybody there when Lieutenant Colonel Ben Phelps was the vice president?
Phelps. That name sounds familiar. Phelps.
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
he was a classmate of mine, and he came back and was the vice president. He actually lives in Boonville.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Man, who we got? We got somebody too joined in with us.
Is it Joel? Yeah.
Joel Charlebois.
Hello, bro. Tell us a little about yourself, Joel.
I started. Let's see. Tracy Green was my MS3 instructor.
I'm here.
I know. I saw you. I went to the college side, 87, 88. Took a year off. Came back 89, 90. So it's more towards the end. Actually, ran into a bunch of us all ended up at Fort Huachuca at the same time back in 2004. It was like a little Kemper reunion.
Huh. Where are you from originally?
Potsdam, New York,
New York.
way up on the Canadian border.
So how'd you end up at Kemper?
A buddy of mine had kind of talked me into it. A buddy from the Army. So at the last minute, I applied to go down there, and I was down there for about a week, just starting off in the summer of '87. He didn't show up. And then I finally got a hold of him, back before the internet. Finally got a chance to use a payphone and got a hold of his parents, and he decided he was
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of happened to me. There was he was probably my best friend in high school. He was a year older, and he went to Kemper. His name was Chris Murray. I don't know if you would have remembered him, Doug. they called him Slep Rock. That was his nickname. And he didn't come back the second year, you know, and he didn't tell me that I was already at Kemper. And
Did you commission?
no,
I can't
I
remember.
I didn't complete the program.
Okay. Darren, you did,
Dave,
right?
Yes. Hey, Dave, I'm at the pull out, man, but it's really great seeing you guys, man.
Good seeing you, sir.
You see, Coach.
Yep. I'll talk to you guys soon, man.
All right.
All right, man. Yep.
Guys, I got a request. This is a little bit probably off the cuff, but my oldest son is coming over, and I want to put him on the call. He's 20 years old, and he did the same that I was able to get going to Kemper. With open, I would have sent my to school. Just the fact of the camaraderie, and even though you didn't realize it at the age we were, become better people. If I put him on the call, because he's my show and tell topic, can you bring him up to speed? He has questions about what it was like back in the day. Wide open questions. Everything's fair game. He might hit, I don't know what, but at the end, give him some insight.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm catching about every third word. So I think Coles was kind of rambling there.
Well, not to ramble, but I want to put my kid on the call. He's my show and tell, and I want you guys to get him an education of our life. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're probably watching him. He just showed up. He'll probably be in here in about a minute, and I'll just throw him on the call, and you guys can just, whatever questions he may have or whatever questions you may have, just hit him. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. So I see it says Richard Van Buskirk. Are you related to Tommy Van Buskirk?
Yeah. He's.
Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my little brother. Yeah, I graduated. I graduated 5 years before he did. I graduated in '87, and then him, Dave. So when you said Dave Hibner, I was watching you guys on Facebook Live, and you're talking about him being a brigade commander, and I couldn't believe it. But I was reading a book a couple years ago. It was called the 10 Battles That Changed the World. And so I'm reading along, and I'm putzing around reading along, and it's talking about the invasion of Iraq, and of course it's Dave Hibner's story when his company went in there, and it was all about that battle. Obviously, you know, I knew you wrote the book afterwards, so because of my little brother. I mean, so but yeah, that was a good year for you guys.
Yeah, no. Tommy was he was the first commander of the Girls Academy. So,
what was that in Columbia? What was that girls' school? Stevens or Stevenson or something?
Yeah. Well, no, you know, Kemper attempted to. It was called the Kemper Girls School, or
Did they really?
Yeah, and they had skirts, and Tommy was in full form. He wore his skirts. And,
It's the KGA.
It was pretty. Yeah, KGA, Kemper Girls Academy.
Oh my God, that's hilarious! I did not know that. I saw Doug on here a minute ago. I went to school with Doug. We played football together.
Oh.
So,
Well, you need to when we get done, you need to get a hold of Tommy and tell him that we were talking about his
it's like his battalion. I keep I retired a couple years ago. Well, oh my God, 4 years ago now, and Tom's the battalion commander right now. He's getting ready to retire from the Army Reserves as well. So but he's a logistics guy. So I always give him a little bit of a hard time.
I lived in Dubai for a while. I was engineer for Shell Oil, and I met up with Tommy a couple times.
When he was over there?
Yeah, when he was over there. Him and Chuck Reed
complaining about his deployment to Dubai and Qatar, and I'm like, you got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, no,
hey, Tracy, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So Tracy Green was my MS3 instructor back in 85 through 87. So
We barely passed.
there's no doubt about it. College was hard for me, sir.
So Joel and Richard, did you guys go to school together?
I gotta say, I don't remember you. I was there 80, well, my first year was 87, 88.
Yeah, I graduated in 87.
Okay. So Tracy was my instructor right after getting done with you.
Oh, no kidding. Okay. I figured he punched out by then.
No, I left in 89.
In 89? Okay.
Yeah.
And I came back in 90, or end of 89.
Gotcha.
So was JP Silverstein in either one of your classes?
So
A year
no,
ahead of me.
JP was a year younger than me, Tracy. So he was in MS3 when I was a 4, and then we graduated. So I mean, I had him in other classes, maybe chemistry or physics or something. But I remember having JP in a couple classes, but that was it.
Yeah, so I worked still for the government on a contract with Northrop Grumman, and JP was in 06 working with us. He's retired now and runs a
archery shop, right?
Archery shop and course, and that's right. Yeah, because you were going to come by at one time.
Yeah, I was actually had to go to Fort Riley, Kansas, and I was staying in Manhattan, and then I spent my last night in Kansas City trying to get closer to the airport, but but then all the COVID shit shut us down. So
Yeah, so was Colonel Fletcher the?
Yeah, he was my PMS.
Okay. Yeah, and then let's see, Sergeant Sabusa was my MS3 instructor.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember.
Ranger.
Was Mark Kraft there, Captain Kraft?
No, there was Tim Sullinger, but he was kind of the.
He was the admin in CO.
Yeah, he was like the admin guy.
Yeah, he's retired. He ended up in
Armstrong. Yeah, there was an Armstrong. He was a first sergeant, Armstrong.
Yeah.
Was Solinger, was he the E7 that had been in like every branch of the service before he came to the Army?
No, he was just this guy. He was an admin guy the whole time.
Yeah.
Who was
Solinger came in the Army after he was a school teacher, and they cut back on the school system, so he enlisted in the Army and stayed. He retires in the 8 up in Iowa.
Who was doing all the photography stuff? 87.
Bosma.
No. This was one of the ROTC cadre.
There was Kagris. I can't remember.
I thought he retired and stayed in Boonville, but I could be wrong.
Henry
Gatewood.
Gatewood.
He wasn't in the ROTC part.
Oh, he wasn't. No.
I got to digitize all my pictures because I've got like thousands.
You need to share some of those. I'd like to see
I know.
them.
I promised you a picture of your brother like 2 years ago before I went to Iraq the last time. I never got around to it. I still have it. It's downstairs in a box.
Yeah.
So Darren's son. What's your name, son?
Dylan, nice to meet you guys.
Dylan. Okay. So your dad kind of gave us the. Well, I was asking to give you a little bit of history about what happened at Kemper and what it was like. And, we're all here products of it. It was basically a school where young men kind of ran the day-to-day, and we learned a lot about
And ladies.
that's right, young men and ladies. We learned a lot about dealing with people, man, because you had a whole bunch of different kinds of people from all over the country, and we had to make it work. And your dad was part of that. Your dad was part of the what would be the equivalent of a military police kind of thing. So they kind of were in charge of kind of policing the after hour stuff. And, they didn't. He was there with the college program, but his barracks were with the high school students. So they kind of, I think, did a lot of the policing of the high school kids, from what I remember. But yeah, there was a period there where you come in as a new boy, and you basically it's supposed to be the equivalent, or it's somewhat like a basic training type of thing, where things are a lot stricter on you and that sort of thing. But all in all, I think it helped us all just get a good understanding of what it takes to work together to make things work. Yeah.
Now, where exactly was the place working?
It's in central Missouri, by Columbia, Missouri. So right off I-70, right in the middle of the state.
In Booneville, Missouri.
Booneville.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you recall, like, your first days there? Like, what was it like the first few days there? You guys hear that?
It was like high school with uniforms.
Yeah. We got there early. I was part of the football team, so we got there in like mid-August. So we had 3-day trainings and that sort of thing. So the first 3 weeks there was pretty crazy, because there really wasn't a whole lot of the military part. That didn't really start happening until the ROTC students came in. Some were also football players, so you got a little bit of a heads up. But once the military part came in, it was really then it got to be where we're experiencing more of a disciplinary kind of thing. But I remember the first day getting there, just realizing that the place had been there a long time. There's a lot of history on the walls. You walked in there and you had old boys that were from the 1800s through all the wars, and you see all the photos and all the memorabilia that were in the buildings, and you realize this is you were part of something that's been there for a long time and had a lot of history, and everything kind of was centered around this idea of honor, and so for me that was kind of the takeaway at first. Was like, okay, I'm stepping into something that that has been here and was built and is purposed for creating honorable young men and women.
So probably you remember your instructors pretty well, it seems. I mentioned a lot of memories in regards to them as well. What were the key ways of how you mainly got through it, your day to day? That makes sense.
I didn't quite catch that. Your audio is kind of breaking up.
Yeah. So what was the day to day kind of like here?
Anybody want to chime in on that? Jim, I'd like to get a perspective from what it was like in the 40s. Getting up. What did your day start like with, and how did it go throughout the day?
Well, my new boy year, I was a bugler, and I had to get up and go down there and blow the bugle to wake everybody up and all that. It was 6:30. We didn't have any of this scabbard and stuff. It was
Scabbard and blade, good.
It was all TC, period, paragraph. Colonel Hitch was the president, and he lived down on the corner. I think it was later known as the Hitch House. And you'd see him walking to work in the morning, and we'd watch him, and you didn't mess around with Colonel Hitch, because if you messed up, I made the mistake of trying to go down and help a young guy from Hyco, Texas. They got in trouble, and that was a mistake. I shouldn't have gone down and talked to Colonel Hitch, because that boy was gone.
So did you guys, I'm assuming you had morning formation. What time did the day start for you guys?
6:30.
6:30.
Well, I think we had 15 minutes to shower and shave.
Yeah.
I don't know how we did it. And then it was 9:30. Study time was over. And 10 o'clock was taps. And we had, the new boys had to be on what they called orderly. I don't know if you ever heard that term.
Yeah, orderly.
They would line up and go to the club room and buy stuff, or to go. There was across from the field house, there was a little grocery store called Hopkins Grocery, and I talked to Hopkins on Facebook, and he's over in Switzerland or some darn place, but he was the son of Mr. Hopkins, and this was the only place we could go off the campus without a permit during the week. So it was a pretty straightforward thing. It was during the war, and that was it.
Tracy, what was it like in the 70s? What were your, how did your day start? How did you all run through the day?
So first of all, I'll tell you, when Kemper recruited me, I thought, man, they really want me. And I found out they were about to close the doors. My new boy year, there were 95 students total.
What?
Wow.
95.
And what year?
74. Post-Vietnam, nobody wanted to go. But those of us that were there wanted to be there. We basically started out with physical training, PT in the morning. Then we went to breakfast, classes from 8 on. Sports in the afternoon after classes. We had mandatory study hall from 7 to 9. Taps at 10, I think. Pretty much, pretty regimented.
I remember going there in the 70s when my dad was a TAC officer, and I was a little girl. It's one of the I've lived all over the place, but I was living in Boonville. I think I must have been in the first grade, and he took me to work with him. And you guys really scared me because I was just this little girl, and you guys were just marching around in all these uniforms. And I remember walking, and there was a fight up in the barracks, and I looked up, and somebody was throwing clothes and just stuff out the windows out there because they were fighting. I guess there was 2 guys fighting in their rooms. But I remember that like it was yesterday. I can't.
Could have been an inspection.
I don't know. They were throwing all that stuff out the windows, and I thought, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Christy, did you go to school there?
I did. I was a day student. My brother actually went to school there in the late 80s and early 90s. He was in high school and he was a cadet. And my mom, I lived in Dallas at the time, she said, you're going to school, so you're going to college. So she said, you're going to go to Kemper so you can take care of your brother. And she said, you can be a day student or you can be a cadet. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be a cadet. So I lived off campus. I rented a room from a family there. And so I was lucky enough to where I was able to do whatever I wanted. I just showed up in class sometimes. And, but yeah, so when I watched after my brother, I remember being in one of my classes. I was in McAllister's psychology class, and he was like on the top floor. And I had it around lunchtime when my brother he would have lunch, and he would always walk out to the parking lot. And I had a black Fiero at the time, and I could see him out the window, him and his little buddies, and they would pop open my sunroof and go in there and steal my cigarettes. And one time, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't say anything. I just saw all these little 8th and 9th graders stealing cigarettes out of my car, and I don't smoke anymore, but and it would just drive me crazy. And one time I left the keys in the car, and they took off with my car as I'm sitting in class, and I'm looking out the window, and I couldn't stop him. He was a hellion, I tell you. He's a crazy one.
What's
Do you
he doing
remember
now?
that, Joel?
What's that?
Do you remember him being like that?
Yes, because I was in K Barracks when he was in Echo Company. I was right around the corner in HHC in K Barracks, and one of my best friends was his company command. Yes, I do remember. We looked out for him.
Oh my gosh!
We looked out for him,
all I know
but
is Colonel
he
Lyle.
was challenging.
Yeah, and Colonel Lyle was always yelling at him with his red face. Every time I saw Colonel Lyle, he was yelling at my brother or something. His face would get real red.
Yeah, when I was my first year, second semester, I was his platoon sergeant. We're in Pinote.
Pinote. Oh yeah.
There were quite a few clowns.
I have a picture of Pinote. He was so tiny at the time. He was just a little guy.
Yeah.
Percy, what's your brother doing now?
He's actually in Boonville. He lives there. He's he has a stucco business. So he works on a lot of houses and businesses and things like that. So I get to see him every time. I go up to Boonville maybe about 3 or 4 times a year. And I'll be up there for the reunion, but I get to see all of my family live there except for my mother. My mother lives here in Texas, so I go up there all the time. That's where all my family is. So when I go to a reunion, I can, I'm seeing all you guys, and then I also get to see all my family.
Yeah, I've got 2 of my kids live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't made it to one yet, and it's been 30 years.
Last year's was fun. There was a lot of people at last year's.
Yeah, they had a good turnout. I think it's the 175th,
Yeah.
I actually dropped into last year's reunion just for a minute. I went in and I bought a sweatshirt and a pullover. I was actually in town. I forgot the reunion was happening for my grandson's football game. He was in 8th grade, and I was there to watch him play football. And so I ran there. It was when the Clydesdale was out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Down to one mug, one really ratty T-shirt, and one kind of too small sweatshirt.
Sounds like you need to go to a reunion.
I do. I do.
Jim, when was the last time you've been to a reunion?
I went, it was the second year. I've been to so many reunions and alumni meetings. I've lost track, but I went to the one up in at the casino. I think it was year before last, and I'm only 91 now. So the last time I went up there, in fact, that was my last hurrah. I've traveled all over the world and worked in a lot of different places, different countries, and I fell that December. I think we had a reunion in October. I fell in December, and that just ended my career of traveling.
Gallivanting.
And I have a girlfriend that I've had for 22 years. We're both widow, what do you call them? Widowers? Whatever. And we just never got married, and we never lived together, but we traveled everywhere. And then after I retired, I worked about 7 more years as a contract person, and went to Tel Aviv, London, Moscow, which I hated.
What line of work did you do, Jim?
I've had more careers than you can shake a stick at, but my last one was that I retired from was Price Waterhouse, which is an accounting firm, and I was a regional financial director. I was not a client type person. So, and I've been retired 26 years. Longer than I'd worked there.
Well, you look great for 91.
Well, I am. Your parts wear out.
Yeah.
And what industry took you to Moscow?
Price Waterhouse.
Price Waterhouse.
Oh yeah, I didn't stay there long. I didn't. I told them, I said, they were having so much trouble with, I don't know what all, but I said, I don't need any career enhancing experiences, because I've had all I want. But I went to Tel Aviv, which was a great experience. And then I commuted to London for a while.
Where did you live at in Moscow? What vicinity?
I forgot the name of the hotel, but it was a Canadian-owned hotel.
Mm.
What time frame was this? What years?
Oh, when was it?
Yeah.
Well, I retired in '93, and so I worked for '93 to 2000.
So it was post Soviet bloc.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had one guide lady that took me around, and I said, "Did you live? I knew she lived there when it was in the Soviet or the communists or whatever." And I says, "Well, what do you think about this?" And she really kind of liked it the other way better.
Really?
That's just one person that said that.
Yeah, but I'm sure that transitionary period, from going from a socialist state to a capitalistic, had to be crazy.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. But, hey, Joel. Is Joel still in?
You know what's going on in a few minutes?
What's that?
Belmont Stakes.
Oh, the Belmont.
42.
Yeah.
Gotta watch the race.
Well, I got a bet on, so I got.
Got some skin in the game.
Got some skin in the game.
Yeah, with my girlfriend, she's in an assisted living and in Fort Worth and locked down.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
So I haven't seen her in a couple of months.
Oh wow. So you're still living at home then, huh?
Yes,
Do you have any children that are
I
there with you?
I have a daughter that lives here and a grandson that lives here. I got another one that lives in Nashville. He composes music,
Oh, nice.
so I don't see him so often. And I know Christy. I met her at the last reunion I went to, and she's a real estate agent. She's trying to sell houses over in 40 and what have you. Isn't that right? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
So
been kind of busy.
if you want to buy a house, call Christy.
Thank you.
It's okay. That's free advertising.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Well, you can't believe somebody will pick up on that and say, I'm moving to Dallas.
I
Well,
know.
and there's a good, they say, well, there's a good city over there just east of Dallas.
I sell in Dallas too.
Okay.
I sell all over the place.
Well, I lived there 25 years.
In Dallas?
Yes.
Where at? In Dallas.
Forest and Midway and North Haven.
Okay, yeah. I know where that area is.
And then when I saw retirement coming up, we bought a house at Cedar Creek.
Okay, yeah.
And so I commuted to Dallas every morning, 60 miles.
Where did you work?
Huh?
Where did you work?
Downtown Dallas.
Yeah, I used to work downtown.
It was exactly 60 miles. And I had a downstairs parking place. So it was a piece of cake.
What building did you work in downtown?
Well, I was in the Interfirst where the big X is.
Oh, that's Renaissance Tower. I was in that one.
We moved out in '84, I think, and moved down to 1700 Pacific.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know what they call it. First City Center.
I can't remember. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah. I was in Renaissance Tower. I worked for Blockbuster's corporate office for years.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
And they're gone.
I know. Every time I drive by that building, I want to cry. I miss it.
Were they in Interfirst?
What?
In the Interfirst building?
No, Renaissance. They were the one with the X.
No, it used to be called Interfirst.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's the building.
I'm still in the past. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It's Renaissance now, but yeah, that they were in that building. They were in 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 30, 31, and 32 floors.
We were in 25 and 26.
Okay.
And you know, when Dallas was the TV show,
yeah,
some of the scenes were shot in our building.
Really?
And my name was on the directory, and these people come in on weekends and said, "Oh, JR,
Ewing.
Yeah,
Yeah, can we go see his office? And
it's
of
so
course,
funny.
The guards wouldn't let him.
Yep. He had the last name.
Yep, so it's 4:41 and the Belmont starts at 4:42. So
All right.
do you mind me saying adios and goodbye to you?
All right.
see you,
As long as you promise to come to the next one.
We will.
right.
Meet you, Jim.
I will.
Very nice to meet you.
Same here.
yeah.
I'm cutting out too.
Yeah, and
All right.
it's nice to see all you young people.
All right.
It's good to see you too, Jim. Thanks for
Okay.
coming in.
Okay,
Nice meeting
see you
you.
later. Bye.
All right. Yeah. No, it's yeah. I guess we should probably wrap it up, huh?
Yeah, I think it's a good. It's been a good meeting.
Yeah. All right, man. Good meeting all you.
All
You
right.
too.
Bye.
We'll see you guys.
That's it.
All
Christy,
right,
thank
bye-bye.
you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Joel.